Hello everybody, welcome back to Finally Rob Plays, and a very special hello to my mom because she is who inspired this video. Because a while back I installed Minecraft onto her laptop and she wanted to play it on her own, and she got a little bit frustrated because she wasn't sure how everything works, how to move around properly, how to interact with anything. So today we are doing a little bit of an intro both for my mom, but also generally speaking for everybody who has never really played anything like Minecraft and wants to get a very basic understanding to get started. So this video will have two parts. The first part we will play in a peaceful survival world. We will look into the main screen, the title screen, the how to create a world, how to move around, how to interact with blocks, how to create a crafting table and therefore create tools, how to kill monsters and animals. So that's the first part. In the second part of the video, we will jump into a new world and we will see how to get our first day done, how to create a little very basic rudimentary house where we can be safe overnight. We will hopefully make a bed, a furnace, have a crafting table and look into the recipe book. We will upgrade our first initial tools and we will look into torches and what light actually means in the game. Maybe we get to kill a few mobs just to see how that actually works then in the real game actually. And yeah, so let's get started with our first part. So we are looking right now, we just clicked the Minecraft icon and we are on the first screen that we find. There's a lot of stuff, but the two important things are what's the release we're playing on, so what's the version of Minecraft that we're right now. If you haven't installed any other versions, then it will always say latest release and it will tell you what the release is. And that is only important if you're further into the game, you got a little bit of experience and you want to learn how to do certain things. Sometimes it's important what release it is because over time the game changes and older things won't work or they will work differently in your releases. So it's just important to know that you are on the latest release. Usually the game will update itself when you open it. The second important part here is the play button, and that's what we're clicking right now. So right now I am on full screen, however you won't be per default on full screen, meaning that you will have a little window in the middle of your screen, and like you would with every other window you can open, maximize it to fill out your screen, or you can go into the options and select full screen there. I'm going just over these options really quickly so you can have a little look into what all of this means. Now you have three different game modes, or like three different world types you can play in, let's say. You have single player, and that is literally what it says. You create your own world and you play alone in it. Then you have multiplayer, and that's usually where you find the servers. If you have any, you can always add a server if you know the information of the server and you add it. So I have two right now. This one isn't working and this one is. You see this tells me how much ping it has, like what's the ping. It tells me how many people are online and how many fit on the server, and if I want to play on it I just click here on the play button. I go back and I go to Minecraft Realms, and here is the list of realms that I'm in. It's kind of like a little version of a server. If you have friends that you play with, then they can create a tiny little server and just invite their own friends to it. So I'm on 2 of them. Now going back, we want to also look at the options, and quit game obviously means that we're leaving the game right now, but we don't want to do this. We're looking at the options. Mainly because sometimes if you load in and things don't quite work well, everything is a little bit choppy, you can't move around, or the world around you isn't loading, then maybe you want to look into some of the settings to make the game run a little bit better. So the first area you would be looking at is the video settings in that case, and it will give you a lot of different options. A good first start is just to turn some things down. For example, I have a render distance of 14 chunks. A chunk is a certain area of blocks that loads in, and that you can see from where you're standing. So I have 14 chunks, which is a little bit much for some computers. You can always go down and let's say do 10 or do 9, 8 chunks just to have a little bit of a view of things, but don't give your computer too much to load in while you're just in one place. So that might make it a bit easier on your computer, and the same as simulation distance, you can turn that down as well. Another thing would be the frame rate, so how often does the screen basically refresh. So you would just go down, maybe on 60. I would say 60 is like the lower end. You could always still try 30 FPS, but I would say if it's not running really well, go down to 60 and see how it goes then. I'm going back to 120 though, because that works really well for me. There are other things like smooth lighting that you could be turning off, maybe the brightness. Here's where I told you about the full screen. I could turn that off, but that doesn't mean anything. I could turn off the fancy clouds, everything that looks a little bit fancy. I could just turn it off and see how the game then works. Now I'm leaving everything how it is because that's how it works just fine for me, but that's where you want to go if the game is a little bit choppy. So we're clicking done and we're back here. We're going into our single player, and you see I have a list of worlds. I'm not going into the details of it, but you just see like if you have several worlds, you will have the list here. But we are creating a new world to go into the part where we're actually learning how to navigate the game. So I'm in the world creation. I'm giving my world a name. So let's say it's Practice World 1. Because we need this one, we learn how to move around and stuff like that. So I have the survival here because I would like to show you the survival mode, but for now we are turning the monsters off. We go to peaceful for it. If you're ever unsure what anything means, you just hover over it and it'll give you the text explaining. So in this one, we don't get hostile mobs, so we don't get monsters that want to hurt us. We get the other mobs that are peaceful, that don't want to hurt us. There are some more options here that we can look into, but for now they're not very important. We're just going to hit create new world, and it will start loading in and build the world for us. The world just generates as you move around. There is no actual border to the world. We are right now in a forest. And what we want to do first is actually look into what's happening. So you see that the world is building around us. You see it at the edges as it extends. We see the sun here that's going up. It's telling us the time of the day. And the way I'm moving my head is just with the mouse, moving it back and forth, left, right, up and down. So that's just what I'm doing without clicking anything. I'm just moving my mouse. If I want to start moving, I have my keyboard for the W, A, S, and D buttons, as well as the Shift button, which is important a little bit later. But for now, we just place our fingers on W, A, S, and D, and that way we can move around. So I'm just turning over here because I see some ground. I want to go down, so I press W to move forward. Whoop, and whoop, I fell down. I lost a heart because I fell, and now I can move forward with W, backward with S, left with A, and right with D. If I want to move a little bit better, I'm going to turn my head or my whole body in the direction, and I just go with W forward, and that makes things a little bit smoother. Now I'm at an edge. Maybe I want to go up that little hill that I saw here. So if I want to jump up, I will use my space key. My space key makes me jump, but I need to move forward and jump if I want to go up this edge. Whoop, I was here, now I'm up here. So I'll just move around a little bit to practice. I'll jump up here. I want to go up this little mountain. I have an issue because I can only fit through 2 high areas, and this is only 1 high. So the way I interact with blocks, if I want to punch anything, then I press my left mouse key. This is what I'm doing right now. I'm just freeing up the area above me so I can go up here. And there we go. Now we learned how to move, we have created a world, and now we want to start interacting with the world a little bit more. The first part is, how do I actually interact with a block? If it's something that I need to punch, like I need wood, so I need to chop down a tree, that's where I use my left mouse button. That's everything that's somehow related to punching. You can see I'm punching this tree trunk and it gives me a wood block. Spruce log. So this is a spruce tree, so I get a spruce log. I can keep punching it. The tree will not fall down on itself. If you're annoyed by floating trees, go there and just start punching upwards. And that way you are getting all the logs from the tree. And it is a little bit slow because I'm just doing it with my hands, basically. I'm not using any tools. Now I'm not reaching this, and that was a question that my mom had, is like, how do I reach this? Because I cannot reach it from here. What you can do is just jump and really quickly place the block under you, which is another thing that you can do to interact, right? So if I use my right click to place a block like this, I can also do that right under me. So I can jump if I'm right in this hole. Let me see. Here we go. So I'm now right in the middle. Now if I jump and then I place a block, I'm on top of it. There we go. And this way I can now reach this block up here. There we go. The leaves will despawn, so they will vanish on their own, and I can make my way back down. Now when the leaves despawn, so what I said earlier, when they vanish, sometimes they drop sticks or an apple or saplings or something like that, and you can pick that up just by walking over it. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to make a crafting table so I can start working on my tools. There's a specific set of tools that you will need at the start of the game. So let's just look at that. If I press E, then I get to my very, my very own little inventory and crafting screen. I cannot craft everything here, but I can craft little things. Little things that I need are the crafting table, things like torches that we will look at later on. And if you're ever unsure what you can craft, you click on this little recipe book and it will show you what you can make. So I want a crafting table. If I click on this, I can't craft it because it's red, but it shows me what I need. So there are many different types of wood, but I know I need planks to create a crafting table. And if I'm unsure how to make a plank, I can search it up here or I can see it. I click on it and it shows me I need a log for it. So here it will already, if you have the resource, it'll place it there, and then you can just click on it and get it out. You can also just do it yourself. Just put it up here. I just clicked it with my left button, moved up and just clicked here with my left button again. So again, I can just take one out of it, or I can click Shift and then click on here and it will make all of what's possible from what I've placed in there. I need all of them, so it's okay. Now let's make our crafting table. So I can click on it again. I know it's like 4 of these. And I click here and now I have my crafting table. I placed it down here because this means I have it down here in this little hotbar. You have to think about the hotbar like it's numbered from 1 on the left all the way to the right. So I see right now that it's on my number 4 key, right? Like it's on the 4th spot. So if I press 4, I'll get there instantly. But I can also just scroll with my mouse wheel to get there. So now that I have it in my hand, I can place it. So if we remember, it's with the right button. I placed it, and then I can click on it again with my right button because I'm not punching it. Everything that's not a punching thing, I do it with my right button. So I'm on my right button and I want to start making some tools. I don't see any tools here yet. I haven't unlocked anything, but I know them by heart, so I'm just gonna show you. I need sticks. This is how you make sticks. But again, you can just place them yourself as well. So if I just, I don't know, click here, I can just start making sticks. If I want several sticks, so it's always 4 from one set. I'll show it to you again. So I put this, if it's just 2 on top of each other, I make 4 sticks, but we will need more than 4 sticks. So I'll make a little bit more here. Again, I press shift and then I press on this output and I get all of the sticks placed down here. Now I see the tools that I need. You can make each of them, but I would say that the most important at the very start is probably a wooden axe, a wooden pickaxe, maybe a shovel, and a sword. So let's start with those axes. So I'll need 2 of the axes. Let's also make a shovel. We don't need a hoe yet, so I'm gonna leave that out. We are going to upgrade our tools very soon as well. So this is for my pickaxe. That's good for stone, and we will need stone to make better tools. This is our normal axe, in this case wooden, because that helps us chop down the trees a bit quicker. And this is for our shovel. You see a little pattern. Everything that has a handle needs sticks. The sword only has a small handle, and then I make a sword putting the planks on top of this. So now I have my first set of tools, and we can chop down. This is out of wood, so I'm using the axe that does the wood. And then I'm going to look for some mobs because I want to kill something, right? If I want to run a little bit faster, I can do that by pressing my shift button. You can also remap your buttons. So if you notice that something is uncomfortable for you, you can always look into the key mapping and then just change it. Let's see if we find some animals so I can show you as well how to interact with them. I won't punch the wolves because the wolves, if you punch them, they become hostile. So let's maybe just walk back into the forest and see if we find like a chicken or something like that. We remember that my sword is on my number 1 position. I could press 1 or I can scroll to it. So I'm scrolling to it and I can keep walking and see if I find an animal somewhere. I don't see any for right now, but I might see some soon. I'm jumping because it makes me a little bit faster than just running, but you don't have to. You can also only run or only walk. I'm looking up, checking the time. It's getting late in the day, but that's okay because there isn't much that we want to do right now. We just want to find something that we can punch. There are some cows. Here I show you now. So I walk up to it and then I have my sword in my hand. I left click because it's some sort of punching. Now cows want to run away when you punch them and they won't die immediately. So just keep the one in your eyes and just punch it until it dies. And you get some meat from it, which is important because meat, you cook it and then you have food. Anyway, so that's the first part, and now we will move into the second part. So right now we are ready to create our new world. I made it a practice world too, and I keep the difficulty on normal because this way we can actually find some monsters at the latest point that will be at night. I'm going to speed up a little bit now that we know all the basics of moving around and how to interact with blocks, how to craft something, and how to kill animals, and the same way we will also kill monsters. So now we are going to move into the new world, and what we are doing there is we are going to build a little base, a very small house, very rudimentary. It doesn't need to be pretty, it just needs to be safe. We also will see that we get a bed, we'll see that we get a furnace, we will see that we get a crafting table again because we need to craft our tools, and then we look into torches and what light means in the game. So we are ready to go. We create our world and we'll see where we end up. Usually it's very random. This time we're in a snow and ice biome. So I would like to start in something easier. So let's see if we find an area that is not snowy, because it's a bit cold. It can be a little bit difficult to survive. So let's see if we just walk in one direction, if we find somewhere that's a little bit easier. We see some polar bears in the distance. We don't want to get too close to them for now. On our way, we can also see that we get some wood, so we'll be punching a few trees just to get the wood ready. There's a small village. Sometimes we will find villages in places. We can look there, and if there's something interesting, we can just take it with us. Some right-clicking things just to see if there's something in there. There's a bigger house. There's nothing in the furnace, but there's food, so we can take the food. There's a little farm, but there isn't anything really growing yet. Here are some more houses, so I'm gonna look into the houses as well. Nothing in the furnace. There's a bed though, so we couldn't just right click it and set our respawn point, meaning that if we die, we will spawn where the bed is that we last right clicked. Look in here as well. There's a leaf above us. More food. Don't think we need the leather, but we can just take it for now. And if we don't need it, then that's okay as well. Let's see if there are any more houses here that we can look at. Don't think so. I'm just gonna go to a higher point to see if I missed something. But I think we got all the houses. Yeah. There weren't many. It's a small village. Usually what's really fun is that villages often have hay balls and we can use them for bread. But we have a little bit of bread now, so we're good for a starter. Let's look at the time. It's not yet noon. Once it's noon, it's really time to get our house ready, even if it's not pretty. So let's just see where we end up. If we keep walking in one direction. We see a lot of snow still. The issue with snow biomes is usually that there will be snow blocks that you can sink into and just freeze to death, and that's something we don't want to do. So I see that this is just spanning for a very long time, so we might not be able to get very far. We didn't steal anything other than some food, so there are some sheep. We will need a bed, as I mentioned, so let's just get our crafting table ready, make some swords, or one sword, and then some other tools, and then just move on. But the sword to kill 3 sheep, because we need 3 wool. There we go. Let's just get that one down to us as well. There we go. So that's what I was explaining earlier in our first practice world, just a little bit sped up. So I'm making my sticks, I'm making my first tool, my second tool, and my third tool. So this is what I need right now. I don't really need anything else. I'm going to punch my crafting table because I'll keep it with me. There we go. I get to my sword and then I look where the sheep went. They were just here. Here's one. I will punch it until I have what it has for me. Let's listen where the rest is. There were more sheep here. I don't hear it anymore, so let's just keep moving, and at some point we will find more sheep, no problem. But where the opportunities come, we will take them, obviously. There's a pig. This will be good for food, so let's just hit that a few times as well. There's another one. There we go. There's another one. So right now I'm keeping an eye on the time. It is now noon. There's another pig. There we go. And I'll just keep running until I hopefully leave the snow biome and get into a place that's a bit easier. If not, that's okay. I'm seeing that I'm getting hungry, so my hunger bar is half gone. I don't think we will be leaving this biome anytime soon, huh? Okay. So let us eat something. I'm going to my bread, I right click, and that's how I eat. And when I'm full with my food, with my hunger, then I can heal. I'm going to move in this direction because there are just some plains, so it'll be easy to build something really quickly. We haven't gotten any stone yet. If we really want some, there are some mountains. We can also just dig down into the ground or find a little cave, maybe like here, for example, and get some stone that way. For now, I'm just looking a little bit around, seeing where a good opportunity is to set up my first little base. And hopefully I'll find some sheep as well again, but maybe not. There is a really good opportunity, but there's also a bad mob down here. That's a creeper, and they are very quiet. You won't hear them coming behind you, so we want to keep an eye on it. If they see us, we can always hit it, but we have to run back because otherwise it will explode in our faces. So we're just going to keep our distance, keeping a bit of an eye on it. It hasn't seen us yet, so I'm just gonna get a little bit of stone from up here, and hopefully this creeper won't see me. It's still walking down, so it hasn't seen me. They don't react to sound, so you can be loud if you want to, but just keep your distance. So how much? We have 11 of these, which is fine. From this we can make a furnace, because for a furnace we need only 8 of the stone blocks. Having a quick look again, the sun is going down very soon. So I'm gonna get a little bit more wood so I can quickly build a little, a little basic safe shelter for me. And it doesn't need to be big, it doesn't need to be fancy, it just needs to be something that I can hide in during the night, so I'm safe. Let's see if we see anywhere. That's fine. There are some more trees over there. There's one here as well, so maybe let's just take this one because it's closer. And then we will just race into making a quick little house and our furnace for the night. Maybe a couple torches. There we go. And we're very close by, I think this is the same where we just took our, yeah. There's still the creeper, it won't be coming up, no worries. Alright, so we are ready to make our little first base. I'm just going to make some more wood. I have enough now. Oop. So I'm just gonna make like a small, let's say like this, maybe 3 by 3 on the inside. Alright, then I'm going to make it a little bit higher, and then I will see in a second if I need more wood, because I will be running out. You see the number going down. And again, it doesn't need to be a pretty house, we just need to fit in it. There we go. I will place my crafting table right here. I can make a door. And that is the first bit done. We have a little bit of time left, so I'm going to see if I find another tree real quick, so we can make at least a top for our little hut, so that we are safe from the top as well, because there are monsters that can, climb up. For example, spiders, they will climb up and drop in from above. And if we don't sleep for a few nights, there are flying mobs as well that are hostile, and they will attack from above as well. So we want to make sure that the top of our base is also covered. So I probably have enough now. Since we didn't see any coal that was easily accessible, we will make our own. So I'm just going to make our furnace. And again, if you ever don't know, just click your recipe book and look what you can create. We will need one of these and one of these. This is how we make our first piece of coal, because we will need some torches. That means we need coal and sticks. I am going to get 3 more, let's see, like this. This is how we make the the slabs. They're basically half a block. And I'm going to place them here. I need another one. There we go. Now what I can do is I could keep a little thing here, but I don't know where anything spawns, so I'll just close it, and every once in a while I'll look out and see if it's lighter already. I could also just punch a little hole somewhere in the wall, so I have something like a window. But there are skeletons, and skeletons can shoot at you, and they will shoot through the window. I'm gonna keep that closed. Now I have this, I have some food, and I have some wood. So I'm going to get the wood first, because then that way I get a little bit more of the coal. Now just wait for that. Once I have more wool, I can make a bed and set my respawn point here by placing it and right-clicking it. I can also start cooking some of my food here. So I'll wait until this comes out, and then I'll just place that for the rest of the heat that's in the furnace. So I get some more food right away. There, so I have that. This will keep cooking until the heat runs out. I'm going to show you real quick the recipe for the bed, so I can search up here, bed. I cannot build it right now, but I can see what recipe I need. I need wool, and I need planks. I have not enough planks right now, but once I have 3 planks and 3 wool, so we killed a sheep earlier, that's how we got this one. Once I have another 2 of them, I can create a bed. I can place it down here somewhere and right-click it, and then I can sleep through the night, which helps with those monsters that spawn in the night sky. And it also helps you sleep through the night and just prevent too much to spawn around you, because not all of the monsters will die when daylight comes. A lot of them will, but not all of them. Now we have some food. We could put some more coal down here, but 1 coal will be good for 8 things that you're cooking or burning or whatever. So we only have 5 right now. If we switch this out, then it's only 6 either way. So I would be waiting until I have 8 of the same thing to cook all my food, right? So I can take this out. What you will need over time will be storage, so you can make chests. So again, I search in here, and this is the recipe, right? You need planks again, and you make a little circle, and that makes a chest. I don't, again, have enough planks right now, but that's how it works. There are other storage options as well, but for now, this will be your good starter setup. Now the last thing that we're looking into today is we're making light, because light is important. So to make light, we can, at the start at least, work with torches. So we can put 1 of these sticks or all, doesn't matter, and we put coal on top as well. And each time we put 1 of these together like this, that makes 4 torches. So you can see I could make a few more right now. If I just do this again, I have 12 torches. I always want my base, or wherever I live, to be lit up. So I'm going to place a torch right here in the middle, or I could put it on the wall, doesn't matter where. But the good thing is, if you place a torch, it'll get the snow gone. So the snow is gone inside my house. At some point I might want to make my house bigger, I might want to replace the floor, whatever it is. And a good thing to do as well is to light up around your area, because if there's light, no hostile mobs, so no monsters will spawn around there. They also won't spawn, I think, 20 or 25 blocks around you, but they will spawn in a distance, and if they see you, they will come to you. So a good thing is, once daylight comes back, or if you're feeling safe, you just start putting light around your base, just like that. And that way you kind of make it a little bit more secure, and the more resources you have, the more light you can have. You can also, for example, build walls if you make a bigger base, but that's basically the very basics. So this is just to get you started. Now, if you're wondering what's the goal of the game, how do I win, where's the end of the game, there isn't an end of the game. One thing that you can do is, if you actually want to see the credits roll like you would in another game, then you can make your way to the end and fight the Ender Dragon, and once the Ender Dragon is dead and you jump into the little fountain that happens, then you can see the end credits roll. So that would be something if you want to reach whatever is some sort of official end of the game. That's something you can do, but there isn't really a specific thing. This is a sandbox game, right? So you survive, you build your base, maybe you want to build a machine, or you want to automate the game, so you look into redstone, or you want to make the biggest farm ever, so you look into how to make farms. Maybe you want to, I don't know, build a castle, then you can go ahead and build a castle. So there are many things that you can do. Just play around a little bit for a start, and once you get a bit of a feel of the game, start looking on YouTube for tutorials maybe, or for things that other people have done in their Minecraft worlds. There are lots of really cool things, so just look around a little bit, see what your play style is, see what you want to do. Make sure that you're safe at night. If you can have a bed, build a bed and put it in your base as well, because then you can sleep through the night, but you don't have to. But yeah, so that's the very, very basics of the games. If you have any more questions, just leave them in the comments, and I'm happy to, make a follow-up video with whatever combined questions come up. If that's helpful for you, if you're starting with Minecraft and this video was helpful for you, then definitely leave a thumbs up, or if you have any more questions, as I said, put them in the comments. And yeah, that's it for now, and I hope to see you in the next video. Have a lovely day. Bye.